You are now watching The Franchise on the DML Network.
Welcome into the DML Network and the latest episode of The Franchise. It's your boy Expert, and I got an all-star panel with me. Let's start with my homie. It's none other than Matty Ice. What's going on, Matty?
What's going on, Expert? Thanks for having me on, player.
Man, no doubt. And of course, Matty Ice always hanging around that brother H-Speed. H-Speed in the building. What's going on?
What's good? Let's go back. It's the franchise.
No doubt. Let's go back. And we got a special guest. It's the co-commish. I always love it when I get to do a show with this dog right here. It's Tone Dog himself. What's up, Tone?
What up, what up, what up?
No doubt. And we got a new user on the franchise. It's the owner of those Cardinals. It's underrated. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Man, glad to have you on the show. You know the franchise is here, so that means we must have just gone through a draft. And we got some things we need to talk about in this draft. And A-Speed, let's start with the first pick in the draft. You got your boy Butters. The boy Butters goes up. He makes a trade with Tampa Bay to go up here and get the prospect Stanley the Flash Olszewski. Probably one of the best prospects we've seen in the Dynasty at quarterback for a while. But you did not like this trade at all. Why, H-Speed, was this trade so bad for you?
First off, Olszewski, the Flash, is one of the top prospects at quarterback that we've seen. And one of the things that he has, one of his assets he has, is that 4.5 40 that he ran at the combine. I mean, when we were at the combine, we clocked him at 4.5. I had to check it again. So when he ran the second 40, I was like, this guy is official. And the GM of the Bucks had the first overall pick, and all I've been hearing from this guy is that he need a mobile quarterback. I need a mobile quarterback. One falls in his lap with the Flash, the best prospect. He has the number one pick. I feel like, just take the pick and then deal with trying to get rid of Boyle, afterward. I mean, so he did pick up an extra pick. But if the Lions have a good season, which I'm predicting he will, I think the Lions might contend for that division. A lot of people might laugh at that, but the Bears better watch out, and the Vikings better watch out. He got a decent quarterback. I think the Lions might fuck around and win that division.
Let me be the first one to laugh at that, H-Speed, because there's no way the Lions compete for that division. Let's stop that. He gonna compete with John for third place is what he's gonna compete for.
Remember, I said
okay. I know we'll mark it down because you the quarterback guru over there with turnover in the backfield you got. But let's talk about Butters going and getting him a star quarterback, Tone Dog. I mean, This is a guy that can come in and change your offense off of one pick.
One pick. I mean, this guy goes up. He's 93 throw power. He's got 90 on the run throw, 80 play action already. So he's pretty fast. HB talked about that acceleration at an 88, clocked in the 40. But he comes in with all the traits. He's already got throw the ball away. He senses the pressure. He's not throwing into double coverage. He throws a tight spiral, and he's clutch already. This guy is definitely the cornerstone of anybody's offense from day one.
Yeah, definitely was a great pick for Butters. Did a great job going up and getting this pick. Can't fault the guy for going to get this quarterback. I just think there's some other holes in Detroit, but this was a great pick. Let's not get that wrong. But I agree with H-Speed. I really wish Farquhar with those Bucks would have stayed here. Got his mobile quarterback and then moved on from there. But we're not going to spend all day on the first pick. Let's move to number 2. And we talked a little bit about the Steelers needing some offensive line help. If you tuned in on the Twitter page, you got a little expert corner advice. They needed some help at the offensive line. But Matty Ice, he goes and gets him a wide receiver coming out of Clemson, 22 years old, but the guy's got 97 speed, 97 acceleration at 6'2". This is a game changer at your wide receiver spot. What'd you think about this pick, Matty?
Wow, man, I love this pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers and Chris Murray. You know, this what singles out right here is that he's 6'2". That means he's physical and he's fast. And you know what's even crazier? He has 97 acceleration. So if he gets his speed up, this guy's gonna be better than my guy. But the only thing I see wrong with this pick right here, expert, is Chris Murray don't have a quarterback. Now, deep balls are easy to miss if you don't have that accuracy. Now, I got Jameis Winston. I can tell you right now, he missed about 4 or 5 deep balls in the first half of the season. We figured it out. But I love this pick. You know why I love this pick too? Because I thought this guy right here was going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC South. So this was a good pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and underrated. Let me bring you in here. You love throwing to big wide receivers yourself, but if you don't have a quarterback or a line to protect you, can this guy get lost in your offense?
Yes, he would pretty much sit there and rot if you don't have a quarterback that can get him the ball, and also a line that's going to block for you, because you actually need that time. Trust me, I know. You need that time for your wide receiver to actually get off the press and get down the field.
Run that route.
Yeah, so if he doesn't have the time to do it, then this wide receiver would pretty much rot in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I wish he would have gone offensive line here, but can't fault him for going and getting a guy like McKinnon who just can flat out fly, especially at that height. The guy also has 93 jump ability, can just jump out of the gym if he wanted to, right out the gate. So,
but
we'll see,
Expo, you gotta get you gotta get a playmaker. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they let Martavis Bryant go. AB's getting old. You bring a guy in like Rayshawn and bow. The guy's he's going to scare the hell out of all the DBs that line up in front of him. And then, okay, granted, you don't have a quarterback, but as a play caller, you got to get creative to get the ball in his hand. Wide receiver screens. You got to get slants. You got to get the ball in his hand immediately, because he can take anything to the house.
Yeah, great point. We'll see what Chris Murray does with that. But let's move on to number 3. And this Hamilton in those Bills, who always seems to be picking in the top 5, top 10. But he gives him a superstar tone dog. Fisher Patterson coming out of Florida. This guy is a day one monster at middle linebacker. What'd you like about this one?
Well, the first thing that jumps off is this guy. I mean, he's got some speed. Comes out with 86 speed, 89 acceleration. So he's definitely going to be able to cover the middle. He's strong, coming in with 86 strength. He's a tackling machine at 91. Block shed is at 83. This guy is definitely a monster. You can move him around between all 3 linebacker spots. You might even be able to sneak him on the line of scrimmage, maybe on a 5-line kind of set, maybe on one of the ends, and apply pressure to those tackles on the outside. This guy is definitely going to be a building block for his D-line.
No doubt. Was a great pick by the Bills. Matty Ice, this is a guy that you love. Kind of fits that mold that you like at linebacker. Quick, but physical at the point of attack. Plus, it's a superstar development, so he's just going to be gaining that XP nonstop. This is a great pick for the Bills. What'd you like about this guy?
Man, I like everything about Fisher Patterson. One of the biggest things I see is that this guy can tackle. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, what's been going on with everybody loves to run the ball. We're hoping Fisher Patterson can stop that run. And in that division, he has someone who loves to run the ball with the Miami Dolphins. So I think this was a great pick. Great pick.
And the Jets.
And the Jets.
And the Jets. Yeah.
Superstar development, man. This guy, I would have loved to trade up for him. I tried to. Hamilton got a little bit greedy. So.
Hey, I was trying to get up there too. I was going to pair him with Raymond. That was my game plan. I wanted to get Patterson and Raymond together. Man, I tried everything I could, but nobody was budging inside that top 5. Fisher Patterson is a monster, man. He's along the line. Them 2 linebackers that went 1 and 2 last year, Weeks and Raymond. They all are the same type of explosive linebackers.
No doubt. That's Fisher Patterson going to the Bills. Let's move on to number 4, which John just really has the worst luck when he's picking guys. Underrated. It seems like every year John picks somebody, a linebacker, a corner, a wide receiver, that has slow development, has all the attributes to be a great player, but has that slow development. Is that going to hurt Perry Riles in Green Bay, having that slow development?
I honestly don't think it would hurt him. I mean, his attributes is pretty much good enough as far as the slow development not bothering. I think that with him having the hit power, and also the 85 tackle, he will actually I think he'll gel good in that defense. I don't think that'll bother him at all.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem, Tone, when we look at slow development, is that when you're trying to develop this guy year 4, year 5, you're not getting the same XP as a normal or a quick is getting, and that's really where it starts to hurt you, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where it's going to hurt, because it's just going to take you so much more time to build this guy. I mean, if you're not out like really dogging this guy out, or with our new word in the DML, spamming this guy, he's not really going to produce at the rate that you want him to produce. And then so you got that slow development, and then I'm looking at the numbers, X, and his man coverage and his zone coverage are like down the toilet drain. So I'm probably like looking more at this guy towards somebody who's going to be able to like strictly rush the passer, or maybe even you might be able to switch him to an end. I mean, he's got 91 hit power. He's coming off the edge with 85 acceleration. He's got 81 strength, which is great, 87 pursuit. But then you look, and he's got 56 on the man coverage. He's not covering nobody. 66 on the zone coverage. He's not covering nobody. So a position change actually might be good just to look at for John for this guy, and maybe you can kind of offset that slow development and get this guy built up faster if you maybe play him at a different position.
Yeah, great. Speed. How do you get Perry off of that slow development in year 2, year 3?
What you're going to have to do, well, actually, Perry was an outside linebacker coming in, and so he moved him to the middle linebacker. And in order for him to get out of that slow development, he's going to have to maybe just ball out with him. He's going to have to make a lot of tackles. He's going to have to be a premier player inside of the Green Bay Packers defense.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult in that division. You got the Bears, who love to run the ball. You got the Vikings, who just bleeds run the football. So if this guy doesn't get off slow development, we may not see Perry Riles in a Green Bay uniform in year 3 or year 4. He may be somewhere else. We got Matty Ice, who loves to trade, so maybe he'll be with those Saints at some point.
Well, the only way you're going to save him, Expert, is if you user him. That's slow development. That's going to kill him. That's it.
That's it. Yep, no doubt. Let's move on to number 5. And this was the guy. This is Lord Farquaad. He had the first pick, and he drops back, and he goes back to the number 5 spot. But he does get a good left guard. He needed some offensive line help to protect that young quarterback Boyle in the backfield, and he goes and gets Nathan Holcomb coming out of Texas. This is a 6'6", 316-pound left guard with 88 impact blocking. He's already got 83 pass, 81 run. He's got 85 strength. He's got all the attributes you need at left guard. You can pull him off of that. He's got 82 acceleration. Matty Ice, was this a good pick for Farquaad, dropping back those 4 slots?
Well, you can never go wrong with an offensive lineman. So, and he picked up future first that has potential to be top 10. So,
yeah,
it was a good pick. But as a GM, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there was a lot of other holes he could have picked up. I mean, he has the fastest player in DML history, and Michael Strickland proved to have some coverage skills. So, it kind of scratched my head a little bit. And he could have got a guard maybe later in the second round, which I don't think he had a second round pick. So, he can go either way here, Expert.
Yeah, here's why I like this pick. Farquaad in the offseason acquired 2 offensive linemen from the Miami Dolphins. Very high-rated, young offensive lineman. And now he acquires another one with the 5th pick. He has basically sewed up that offensive line for the next 5 years.
No doubt.
As we get ready to go into high stakes in the dynasty. That's why I like this pick. H-Speed, do you have an issue with Nathan Holcomb at number 5?
And that, to me, I think that, and the only reason why I didn't love the Holcomb pick is because the linemen, even the lineman directly behind, it's like 3 linemen behind him that came with superstar development, and that was a little bit stronger. But Holcomb is solid. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, he's solid. But at the 5th pick, you had guys that was a little bit better, that was taken a little bit after. So it's going to solidify his line, and the draft, you got to get a guy inside the top 5 that's going to be impactful. You know what I mean? And hopefully Holcomb will be impactful for the Buccaneers. But there was a couple guys I liked a little bit more than Holcomb, like the guy Tone Dog took. I thought that was my favorite lineman in the draft, even pre-draft.
Appreciate your HP.
Or even the next pick. So let's
hold off on that best lineman because there's some good linemen in this draft.
Yeah.
You know, Houston got him a good lineman. We'll talk about those later. But with the next pick, we have our first award to give out. So Dion, cue the video.
You know I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, rape.
That's right. It's the Cosby Award, but it's not going to the owner of the Falcons. We actually have an owner that didn't have a first-round pick, but he Cosby'd the Falcons to get him a first-round pick next year. It's none other than the homie Matty Ice in the building. Matty, congratulations. You are the Dynasty Cosby Award winner again. How many is this for you?
Man, 3 or 4.
So you give up a practice squad player. Let me repeat that, Dynasty. A undrafted practice squad player and flip him for a first round pick next year. How do you do that?
I mean, he was a solid player, man. He was on a cheap contract. Me and LP got to talking, and I just asked for a future first, and he said fine. It was real simple. I mean,
wow.
He's on cheap. Listen, he got the quick development. I think versus T-Pain a couple seasons ago, he had like 2 pick sixes, maybe 3 picks overall, and I had traded a corner for Perriman a couple of seasons ago, and it just all worked out. And we're getting Robinson and just a first round pick for a practice squad player. How can you say no to that? So
you can't, and it's a great pick. Yeah, it's a great trade for you, especially if this pick next year is a top 10, top 15 pick. But let's move on to the number 6 pick, and we got to talk about LP because he goes and gets him a left guard for LP at Deambro Payne coming out of UCLA, and underrated. This guy is a monster of a left guard. We talking superstar development, 89 strength. He's got 88 impact blocking already. This guy is a big boy at 306 pounds. Underrated. What do you like about this pick?
Man, this is the guy that I had my eye on him. I mean, I wanted him so bad, man. This guy was the first one on my draft board with that superstar development, the 89 strength and the impact blocking. He's gonna be actually a captain on that offensive line in probably the next year or two. He's able to pull with that 80 acceleration and 73 speed. You can pretty much run any kind of tall sweeps or whatever you want. Mm-hmm. With the, most offensive linemen, they have about 59 to 65 on the agility, but this guy has 72, and that's pretty good for an offensive lineman. This
I really like this
monster.
This is a monster offensive lineman. And Tone Dog, this is a guy that can just anchor one whole side. You can match him up with one more decent lineman, and he's really just going to help a whole side of your line. What could you do with a guy like this in Denver?
Well, shit. I mean, if you're running the ball and need some protection, I mean, this guy is definitely going to anchor your line, especially at guard. You know, those guards are usually like your run blockers. So with that 80 impact block, I mean, this guy is going to lock onto you and kind of hold you there at the point. He still has the 84 passing, so even if you're trying to A-gap blitz or do whatever, you know, those blitzes are coming in, he's going to be able to pick it up. So I think this guy is good, and he'll be on that line for a long time.
No doubt. And he's only 22, which is another great thing because he is young. He's going to be around for the next 7-8 seasons for the Falcons. This was a great pick by LP, even though he just got Cosby'd from the homie Matty Ice. But let's move on to pick number 7. One of my favorite users in the Dynasty is Tazzarelli, the owner of those Rams, and he needed him a quarterback at A-Speed. He goes out and gets Caleb Lockhart, another quarterback from Ole Miss, 6'5", 23 years old, 232 pounds. This is a guy that's going to stand in the pocket and take a shot and throw the ball down the field.
Absolutely, man. Caleb Lockhart, he was actually the starting quarterback for Ole Miss before Olshansky got there to flash. Lockhart got hurt, and Olshansky, you know, took over from there. But Lockhart was still a top prospect, as you can see. This is the first time 2 quarterbacks went in the top 10, you know, in the same draft. But Lockhart, man, it's a good pick, man. It's definitely a good pick. You couldn't really go wrong with the top 3 quarterbacks that were selected. He got 93 throw power. He can throw on the run. You know, and he has good short and medium accuracy, man. This is the quarterback that the Rams so desperately needed, and they finally solidified their position.
No doubt. And Matty Ice at 6'5", 232. This is a guy that can stand in your pocket and just be a pillar back there as he's looking over these offensive linemen looking for wide receivers down the field.
Yes, sir. He's like a Big Ben. When the pressure's coming, he ain't scared. He's standing tall.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Great pick by the homie Tazzarelli. I'm glad he finally got him a quarterback. Let's move on to number 8. And I was actually in the draft room with this owner, Mo Booker, when he picks this cornerback. And to say that he was excited about this pick is an understatement. Matty Ice was in the room with us. But you go and get you a cornerback with quick development that's already basically a good cover corner. 88 man coverage. He got 81 zone coverage. He's got 91 speed. He's already got 94 acceleration. But here's the thing I love about him, the most underrated. This guy is 6'2", 182. He is going to be a big physical cornerback. And how important is that in the Dynasty when you're talking about guys that love to throw the ball? How important is it to have those big corners out there to cover those guys?
Yes, mainly with those streaks, man. A lot of players in the Dynasty like to run those deep balls. If you have a 6'2" corner, he's going to be able to, you know, jump up and snag it from the wide receiver instead of, you know, being mossed every time. And then with the acceleration, he's going to be able to actually catch up when he gets behind. So when you throw that deep ball, if he gets beat, I think he'll be able to catch up with the wide receiver instead of just getting, you know, burnt. So I think this is a good pick.
No doubt. All right, Tone Dog, what did you think about Strickland here at number 8?
Strickland here at number 8 is a great pick. You know, kind of to piggyback off of what Underrated said. I mean, this guy's speed and acceleration is going to speak for itself. I mean, should not get beat deep. You like the height at 6'2", especially maybe trying to run against guys like, you know, SJ is one of those players who has the fast guys, but he likes them kind of short. So if you can get a 6'2" corner on a 5'8" receiver that are running basically the same speed, that DB should be able to at least swat the ball away at his highest point every fucking play. So I like him here at this position. He's coming out of the Tennessee, the SEC, where it's big boy football. I mean,
Yeah.
let's get it. You know what I mean? I like it. I love the pick right now.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
go ahead,
HP.
I had him in my mock, as we seen. I mocked him in the top 5. I thought, honestly, that he was probably one of the top players in this draft. I thought he was. I think he got the number 1 rating in the draft, or top 2. I thought the Bills could have used him. For him to get him at 8, that is a hell of a pick, man. He's only 22.
He was almost insane. He was almost insane.
Hey, look, he's only 22. He reminds me of Marshawn Lattimore. He has that Marshawn Lattimore feel to him.
A great pick. And you're right, H-Speed. The fact that he fell all the way to 8 is amazing, because I believe he was rated number 2 overall in the draft. Just a great pick by Mo Booker. And I think Mo Booker had a really good draft. We'll get to some more Mo Booker stuff. Of course, when you go 1-15 or 2-14, you get a couple picks in the first round. But let's move on to number 9, and it's the Baltimore Ravens. And he goes and gets him Mac Henry. Now, this is a guy that I was hoping. I prayed hard. Please let Mac Henry fall to 26. Some way, like let the Dynasty users forget that left end is important, because Mac Henry is a go-getter. 89 strength at left end, Matty Ice. 80 acceleration. This guy is going to come off of the end. You can also, at 290 pounds, put him inside. He can play all 4 positions on that line at 6'4", 22-year-old rookie. This guy is a monster for the Ravens.
Yeah, I like this guy on the D-line, man. He's quick development. He's only 22 years old. 22 years old, 80 overall. He's strong. He's fast. He's bringing that heat, man. This is a great pick.
Yeah, definitely a great pick for the Baltimore Ravens. HP, is there anything about Mac Henry that we need to know about that made some GMs maybe shy away from him in those top 8 picks?
Well, it really wasn't anything that Mac Henry did. It's just the fact there was some other prospects that people love more than Mac Henry. Mac Henry was one of the captains of the UCLA team, but towards the end of the year, his production fell off a little bit, so that did have some GMs a little worried. But the Ravens got them a great pick right here. 22 years old, defensive end. He's going to be there for a while.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be there for a while. You're going to have to go give some help to whoever is blocking him. But let's move on to the top 10. You know we love to spend time with the top 10, and we'll fly through the next 22. But top 10, this is my least favorite pick in the top 10 of all the picks, because it goes to the homie JB and the Titans. He goes and gets him a superstar quarterback, Mr. Rob Lambert, coming out of Louisville. Another young guy, 22 years old. This is another big, huge quarterback at 6'5", 235. And I got to see this guy twice a year. 91 throw power, 84 throw on the run. Tone Dog, is Lambert a franchise quarterback for the Titans?
I think so. The Tennessee Titans is always up there with the interceptions, and I think he's just forever been searching for that correct quarterback. Will this guy be it? I mean, to be determined. We'll have to see how JB uses him on the field and all that. But, I mean, deep ball accuracy at 85, that's probably damn near the highest I've seen on any quarterback coming out. And again, everybody's enamored with age. He's only 22. He's 6'5", so that's probably about as big as Big Ben. 235. He's a superstar. I mean, this guy's gonna be with you forever, man. This is Big Ben for him. So hopefully he can get Lambert rolling.
Yeah, this is scary at quarterback for the Titans. Just what Tone Dog was talking about. He's been searching for that guy to stand in that backfield and chunk the rock for him. He's already got a good run game, got a good defense. I think quarterback was that final piece to get him over the hump, maybe get him to that 9-10 win season and have a spot in the playoffs in the Dynasty. Other than the fact that I got to play him twice, this is a great pick by JB. Excited for the guy to get him a quarterback. But those are the top 10. Let's move on to number 11, and we're going to go through these a little bit quicker. And the number 11 pick goes to Mo Booker. and he gets Antoine Souls. And this is a normal development guy, but at strong safety, he's got 89 speed, 92 acceleration. But the big thing I love about this guy underrated is that 90 hit power. If this guy gets his hat on you, you're going to know you got tackled by Antoine at strong safety. Did you like this pick at number 11?
Yes, I like this pick. With that 92 acceleration and that 90 hit power, this is a dude that's going to come in and pretty much knock the snot bubbles out of your nose.
Yeah.
He is. No doubt. I mean, and then he has an 80 tackle. Now, the thing that kind of scares me is the zone coverage isn't that good. So he's going to have to, as far as the passing, he's going to have to get that zone coverage up a little.
Yeah, he is. Definitely going to have to work on that.
Yeah, and there's no real man coverage either. Man coverage 69, so he's going to be able to stop the run, but the pass is going to be hard to do.
Definitely will have to get some work on that pick, but still a good pick for Mo Booker at 11. I know being in the chat with him, the guy he wanted was taken, I believe, at 10, so he had to kind of scramble, but he still had Antoine on the draft board. Was a good pick. But let's move on to number 12. And it's underrated pick with those Cardinals. And you needed a right guard. You needed an offensive line help. And so you go and get Matt Jarman coming out of Oregon. A little bit older in the dynasty, 24 years old. But this is a guy that's 300 pounds. Has all the attributes right out the block. Were you a little disappointed that maybe he was a normal development when you picked him at 12? Underrated.
Yeah, that was a big disappointment. I want to at least get a quick or superstar development guy. That's what we need on the line, but it will help the line out. I mean, Mariota was on his back probably like 75 times last year. So I think this will definitely help with the 87 strength and 88 impact blocking. I think I'll be able to run pretty good on that right side.
Yeah, no doubt. Was a great pick at number 12. I liked him. Wish he would have been quicker superstar, but what you gonna do? It's too late at this point. Let's move on. All right, Matty Ice. As the guy that knows all about speed at wide receiver. Now, JB just went and got him a quarterback of the future. And he goes and gets him a burner at wide receiver with number 13. 96 speed, 93 acceleration. Guy's already got 84 route running. Matty Ice, talk about Christian Ingram coming out of Florida State.
Man, Christian Ingram is a beast. This dude can run routes. He can catch already. He's catching in traffic. But the most important thing, this guy is getting separation, man. That 93 excel, 96 speed. The Titans owner is having great drafts very quietly here in the dynasty. He's moving in silence. He's getting better on the stick skills. I know he traded away QB Henry Huey, but I think he likes some tall quarterbacks. I think he had one when he owned the Rams too. So what I think he's doing is I think he's preparing himself to compete.
Yeah.
I know Henry Huey he had a lot of interceptions, but he was also slinging that rock and he had a lot of yards. So it's going to be interesting to see if JB can turn this corner.
Yeah, hey.
Go ahead, H-Speed.
Hey, I think JB, man, he might have had the best offseason or
yes,
in
sir.
the top, and definitely in the top 5 of what he did. He made this trade to move up to get Christian Ingram right before the draft. I think he traded with underrated, right? Underrated?
No, he didn't.
He traded somebody. He traded right before the draft to move up to get Ingram.
That was the Seahawks, yeah.
Okay, so he moved up. Okay, he already traded away Huey to the Bengals, gave Bengals a quarterback, but he picks up a superstar in Lambert, and then he pairs him with Ingram, and he already had a fast guy he drafted last year. So now he got 2 burners at the receiver position, along with Davis. Man, you better watch out for them Tennessee Titans.
Let me be the first to say that he's not moving in silence, because we see what he's doing in Houston. We watching the Tennessee Titans, and it's scary. And it's not just him, but the whole division is getting better. And it's going to be a tight race. I know King Vitamin thinks the same way. But let's move on to number 14. Here is one of those guys I wanted so bad in Houston. It's Muhammad Nelson. Tone Dog, this is a free safety that can cover everything. What do you like about this rookie coming out of University of Texas?
I mean, there's so much to like. 91 speed. I mean, I love that. 90 acceleration. I'm in love with that. 90 hit power. I'm in love with that. I mean, 90 agility. This guy is a playmaker, man. This guy is going to be catching the balls out the air. He's going to be fucking spinning around and juking left, and he's going to dive and spin around, and then he's going to score for 6 and make you look silly. This guy is a baller.
Yeah, this is just crazy at 14. I was hoping people weren't going to be watching this guy, but you know Addy5 does his homework. This is a great pick by already a great user picking in the top 15, and he goes and gets him a cornerstone in that back end of his secondary for the next 5-6 years. Muhammad Nelson, a great pick, already at 81 overall. And we know Addy will work on that man coverage, zone coverage already in the green at 81. He'll work on that tackle a little bit, and this guy will be at 85, 86 by mid-season. Will be one of those guys that we will be talking about for playmakers of the week when the homie KP puts those numbers out. But let's move on to number 15. It's another safety that goes off the board with the Raiders. So, HB, talk to me about Lester Spittler coming out of Nebraska.
Man, the safeties in this draft are outstanding. This is one of the best safety classes that we've had. With Muhammad Nelson going and Anchon Souls. And now we have this guy, Spittler. This guy's a monster, man. He's got 90 speed, 90 acceleration, and if you come across that middle, he's going to lay the wood, dislodge the football. That's what that hit power for me. I know we talked about it before with the other two guys, and one guy couldn't cover as much, but if he get there, he's gonna knock the snot bubbles off, as my man underrated said. You know what I'm saying? So this is another guy that can do that, and at 6'2", he's a big boy. Yeah. And 209, he already got another a tall safety back there. So the Raiders are building a pretty decent squad. They just got to put it all together.
No doubt. All right, guys. Next up, it's tight work. And those Dolphins, Matty Ice, Donald Light. Now he needed something to anchor that defensive line. And I know when we were in the party chat, I said he was going D-line. Mm-hmm. I knew he needed something to get something big in there, and he goes and gets him a 90 strength defensive tackle. 21 years old, Matty Ice, 21. So that XP is going to be cheap for him. 318 pounds. This guy is a rock in the middle of that defensive line. What'd you like about Donald Light? Man,
I like his age. I like his strength. He's 318 pounds. He's like one of those big clog nose tackles clogging up the middle. How did the Super Bowl, how did he move up?
Farquhar gave it to him.
Two offensive linemen to Lord
Farquhar
for the number 6 pick.
So this is the Colts pick. Okay.
Correct. This is T-Pain's pick.
This is a good solid pick to move up to grab this guy, man. He already has that strong defense over there in Miami, and this guy is just going to add to that middle. Yeah. Great pick by him. But let's move on to number 17, and it's the homie Tone Dog in the building with those Broncos, and he gets Blair Buerlein. Now, this is a superstar right guard out of South Carolina, 22 years old. Tone Dog, when you saw the attributes when you drafted him, did you go nuts seeing he had 92 strength already?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he was first in the combine.
Everything.
He was first on the bench press. So I was like, okay, oh my God, like 38 reps. And so then once I drafted him, I kind of applied everything from the combine to what the attributes on the 3 block said, and I was just blown away. I mean, the guy comes in with 92 strength, 82 run block, 85 impact block. He's got 92 stamina, so he's staying on the field, and he's got 82 on the acceleration. So when it's time to get those pulling guards coming around the backside, I mean, it's going to be all hell for those middle linebackers.
This is amazing. And here's the great thing. He's only 22, so he's young. He's 6'4", 311, Tone Dog, and he's a 75 overall already. But if you look at his awareness, you get that awareness to 65, 70. That's easily an 80 overall lineman. At pick number 17, this was just a monster pick that this guy fell all the way to you at 17. Great job by Tone Dog. All right, let's move on to one of the greatest users ever in the Dynasty. It's the real KP, the original KP. And H-Speed, we've talked about this being a great strong safety, free safety draft, but it was also a great offensive lineman draft. We just saw Tone Dog get him a monster right guard, and now we have the Eagles pick him Andre Blackman coming out of Auburn, 22 years old, a young guy again, only spent 3 years at school. This guy is a monster at left tackle. What'd you think about him, H-Speed?
Man, KP is one of the best GMs in the Dynasty, and he makes moves, he trades, and he makes great picks in the draft. Whenever a guy goes into the Philadelphia Eagle program with KP, you know that the guy's going to be better off. He might trade him, he might not, but he will build him up, and he's already there, though. He's 79 overall superstar. He has the 84 pass block, so he's going to protect Wentz. He has 86 impact block. He's 76 speed at the left tackle position, man. It's a great pick, and I'm just disappointed that it happened to be the Eagles inside of the NFC East.
Yeah, because now you got to deal with that guy twice a year. Great pick by KP, but we come to expect those things from a user like him. But let's move on to number 19. All right, underrated. Your second pick in the draft, Mr. Tank Norris. First off, if you're a halfback and your name is Tank Norris, you already got to be a monster. But this is quick development. He is green across the board. This is an 81 overall, 23 years old. He is small and compact at 5'10", but he is 213 pounds. This is a big wrecking ball in your backfield. But then we look at the speed. He's got 92 speed at that weight. I know you had to be happy about this pick.
Yes, I love this pick. Man, I had him on my board, just seeing if he was here because I need a running back. David Johnson's getting old. His speed is declining. His acceleration is declining. So we needed someone to come in and be able to take the rock and carry on and do what we needed to do as far as running the ball. And Tank Norris was exactly what we needed. He's a great back.
No doubt. This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with those Cardinals. Great pick by underrated. Had two really good picks this draft. I know you got to be excited about the future in Arizona. But let's move on to number 20. And it's the commiss himself. It's Dion. Now, Matty Ice, when we were in the chat, we were trying to debate where he was going as he was waiting to take his pick. And I told y'all he was going to go defensive line. He needed somebody to come off of that edge and get after this quarterback. He loves pressuring with his secondary, so he needed a guy that's going to put that speed, that heat on the quarterback. And he goes against Arrell Thornton coming out of Nebraska. Nebraska had a great class coming out this year. This is a 6'4", 263 defensive end, Matty Ice, with 83 speed, 89 acceleration. There are guys that want that at linebacker, and this guy's coming screaming off of the edge to go get your quarterback. What'd you like about this one?
Now, when you let a guy go, when you can replace a guy like Everson Griffin with a guy like Thornton, you know you got good GM skills. Now, that D-line has a guy named Demetrius Lynch, and that dude is a tank. And then you got a guy named Daniel Hunter. You still got Sheriff Floyd. You still got Linval Joseph. And you add Thornton. Man, it's going to be a tough time dealing with that D-line. It's going to be a tough time trying to pound the rock. This was a great pick. You're getting old on the D-line, so this is just a good pick in general, man.
Yeah, and you know the commish, he prides himself on that defensive side of the ball. Yes. He really shores up that defensive line with this pick. This is going to be difficult because he is now going to get after you in all phases while you're on offense, whether you're trying to run it or throw it. This is a guy that will change things. But let's move on to number 21. And I'm going to go to our running back guru in the building, H-Speed. Decatur Wiggins. I was so upset this guy didn't fall. I needed running back in Houston, and I had Decatur Wiggins in the top 3 in my draft board to get picked. But Andy Force and the 49ers felt he needed another weapon on that offensive side, and he gets Wiggins coming out of Georgia. What do you like about this kid at 23, 216 pounds, 6'2" running back?
He's a big guy. A lot of the scouts that I talked to at the combine when and throughout the season, they say he reminds them of a Marcus Allen. He has that acceleration. He's a big kid. He has that long stride, 87 speed, but he has the 93 acceleration, and he will shake you out your shoes with that 91 juke. And great ball carrier vision off the break. This is a guy that the 49ers can use right now. They really didn't have a number 1 type of running back. They have one now in Decatur Wiggins.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great pick at 21, but let's move on. Number 22, Emmanuel Hunter coming out of Louisville. This is the first center, I believe, coming off of the board. And he goes to C-Rob, who has a stable of running backs, and they needed someone in the middle to shore that offensive lineup. Tone Dog, talk about Emmanuel Hunter and how this guy can impact the Panthers.
Well, he's definitely going to help the Panthers. I think the Panthers were kind of looking for that last piece to the puzzle on that massive O-line that he has. And I think the center is definitely going to be the guy. I mean, he comes in at 6'4", 314, already has 92 stamina, so he's not coming off the field, 89 strength. The only thing that he's going to really kind of have to do is build that awareness up because, the line goes as the center goes. So once he builds that awareness up and gets those blocking things up, I think he'll have a piece of, his guy for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Jim Brown Jr. in the backfield. He's got Black Lightning. This guy has some running backs that can get out and get in space, and he needs that offensive line to do it. Was a great pick. Emmanuel Hunter was highly rated on most people's draft board. Great pick by C-Rob at number 22. But let's move on to 23, and it's the first tight end coming off of the board. And in the words of Lord Farquaad, how you draft a tight end in the first round? Like I don't understand it. Now, Garrett Schwartz is a great player. Don't get me wrong. This guy can come in at 84 speed, 87 acceleration, is a great player. So underrated. Let's talk about Schwartz at 6'6", 264. This guy is catching everything up in the air. Did you like this pick at 23?
I like this pick. It's something that he needed. He definitely needed a tight end. And with 6'6", 264 pounds, he's a big body. He's going to be a great target, for the quarterback. He also has a 81 spectacular catch. His catching is 83, so he's going to be catching a lot of balls. The run block is average, but he also has the 87 acceleration, which is good. The route running could be up a little higher too, but I think it's a great pick.
Yeah, and it's late in the draft. It's 23, and it was a spot of need for the Seahawks. So I can understand why he goes and gets them. But let's move on to 24, because maybe a not so good tight end goes at 24. Chris Welch goes to the Jets. The homies, I can't ever say his name on the show. I don't want to say his name because I'm not calling no other man Sweets. That's just not expert style. We got to come up with a new name for you, dude, because I don't know about all that. But the homie with the Jets, he picks Chris Welch. Tone Dog, we just saw the Seahawks pick him a tight end. What's a decent tight end? This guy's the little bit lesser version of that tight end, a little bit slower. A little bit less catching. Route running's not very good, but he's 6'6", 264. Can the Jets turn this guy into a monster at tight end?
Monster to be determined, but he'll be good. I like what the Jets do on offense. This guy comes in at 24 years of age already, but from Stanford, so he's smart as shit. I think he's going to run the ball He'll be an okay run blocker, but he's really going to excel in the pass blocking. You know, he doesn't have great speed, but the 82 catching, I like that. So if he gets hit by these big safeties, maybe he'll hold on to the ball. He's got a little bit of acceleration at 86. So, I mean, I'm okay. Let's see what he does.
No doubt. All right, guys. As you know, we always give out 2 awards on the franchise. Let's give out award number 2. Dion, cue the video.
Breaking news. Today, unpredictable events have occurred across the globe. Who has come to save the day for humanity? Who is this mysterious mighty hero? Stretch Armstrong. Your stretchable superhero. Stretch him 4 times his size. He becomes bigger than a building. Tie him into a knot. He always goes back to his original shape. Stretch him again and again. Stretch Armstrong. The return only from character. Stretch Armstrong.
And it's none other than SJ, the co-commish. H-Speed, talk about Mario Haas going at 25.
Hey, SJ's new name is Stretch J. So don't call him SJ no more, man. Call him Stretch J. Mario Haas, the one thing that Mario Haas has that many of the scouts like was his arm. His arm, he can throw that thing like 75, 80 yards down the field. You know, but the problem is everything else.
Nothing. He can't hit nothing when he throw it.
He got good short accuracy, which is an 81, but it's a lot of work to be had with Mario Haas. I don't foresee him starting you know, early on his career. Now, if he still had the GOAT back there to develop under, it would be a better pick. But he's 23 years old, so it's not a lot of time. I didn't like the pick, especially when Cantwell was still on the board. So, Stretch J, that's your name for the rest of the season.
Stretch J, just a bad pick at 25. But I understand. I think this was a Madden pick. SJ was still on the way to the house.
Got a fucking bum, man.
You got a bum. He got a jag. You got a jag. And we call those just a guy because that's what he's going to be on this depth chart. Just a guy. He'll have to find a quarterback next season. All right, guys, let's move on to 26. And it's none other than experts pick with those Houston Texans, always drafting late. But 3 years in a row now, we've gone offensive line. And I think we got our last piece, Michael Follett, coming out of Florida State, young guy, 22 years old, right at 300 pounds. Matty Ice, what'd you like about this guy?
Well, he definitely completes that line since I know you took a couple guys late in the first coming here, and he's going to be maxed out with Josiah Dickerson, I believe his name is over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, this guy, I know you like to pound that rock, and this guy is going to be a puller, a guard puller. He's going to be a pancaker. This guy's going to fit great under the head coach of Expert. So he's going to a great organization, so he's going to have a good career.
No doubt. Appreciate that. Let's move on to pick 27. It's Jamal Simpson going to the Bears, coming out of Pittsburgh. And this is a bruiser at running back. He's not going to run away from you. He's not going to run past you. But he is going to run you over. 88 carrying already. He's got 86 vision. He's got an 82 stiff arm. He does have an 85 juke. I mean, just some of the great attributes that you want in a running back. My only problem is he's not very fast. He's only 89 speed, 86 acceleration. But H-Speed, as a running back guy, is this a guy that you could use in your backfield?
I mean, you can use him, but he's just not. It's nothing that he does that's great. You know what I mean? But however, the team that he's going to, the Bears, likes to run the ball. Now, the thing that puzzled me was that he drafted another running back right behind it, so he must didn't like Simpson as much. So, but Simpson has some good attributes, man. He got at that 85 juke, and he got that 80 spin, which is good. He just not real explosive. He's just a solid guy, and that kind of works with what the Bears like to do.
Yeah, no doubt. We won't spend much time on that pick. Next up, pick 28, and we saw C-Rob go lineman already, and he's going to pick him up another lineman at pick 28 in Kevin Patton. All right, Tone Dog, talk to me about the kid coming out of Baylor. got a lot of great attributes, and C-Rob goes and gets him another good offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, again, Charles is trying to solidify the run game. He's got horses back there. He's got at least 5 to 8 O-linemen already, and he just adds more pieces to the puzzle. This guy is 91 strength, 89 on the impact blocking. He's going to be a great run blocker at 84, and he's young, 22 years old, 6'4", 312 pounds. Normal development, but that's okay because the way Charles runs the ball, I mean, these guys are going to get XP, and he's coming from Baylor down there in Texas. So, they definitely are the big boys down there.
No doubt. Great pick at 28. But let's move on to pick 29. It's King Vitamin and those Jaguars, and underrated. He goes and gets him a piece in the middle of that defensive line. Martinez Critton. This is a guy out of Delaware, a small school, but at 6'6", 302, this is a monster at defensive tackle. What'd you like about him, underrated?
Damn.
Yeah, this is a good pick. I mean, he is definitely a monster. 6'6", 302 pounds. For the short quarterbacks, pretty much all you have to do is put his arms up. He's going to knock the ball down. That 91 strength. If you have a center that has like 80 strength, he's pretty much going to have your center sitting in your quarterback's pocket all game long. 86 power moves and 85 block shedding. I mean, this is a run stopper right here. This is a real good pick.
Yeah, this is crazy at 29 to get a quick development at 302 pounds. I think this was a late projection pick as well. So great drafting.
Yeah, he was projected in the 5th round, expert. A lot of the scouts that I heard, they said that Martinez, they didn't think that he would be able to handle far as the NFL playbook. That was his issue at Delaware, and he came from a smaller school. So that was why he had that 5th round projection. But physically, he had everything that you can want in a defensive tackle. And King Vitamin seen that and picked him at 29, and it was a great pick for him.
Great for the 5th round. We'll see what King Vitamin does with him. Can't be upset about the pick. Let's move on to number 30, and it's KP again with those. He gets him a left guard. All right, see this guy twice a year, and he adding line.
Yeah, absolutely. Solomon is a solid guy from Penn State, man. Big Ten school. The guy got 88 strength and 92 impact blocks. So the guy is pulling. He got 82 acceleration. Hey, KP is building a nice little offensive line right there. He picked a left tackle two drafts ago, and he gets one this draft a superstar. And then he goes out and solidifies it even more by picking up Solomon Rachel. And this is a good pick. He's only 22, so he's going to be there for a while. And that's what you want. You want cheap, young talent that has potential, that can grow, and that you can groom. And that's what KP's doing right here with this offensive line.
Not just that, but the guy is 6'4", 344.
344.
This is a guy you're not moving this guy around at 344 pounds. It's crazy that this is a pick at number 30. But another good job by KP building him a squad over there. All right, we got 2 picks left. Let's move on to pick 31. And it's the Dolphins at 31. And he goes and gets him another defensive lineman, a right end, Cornelius Johnson. All right, Matty Ice. Is this a reach?
This is a reach. He's 246 pounds on his defensive line. He's big. He's tall. He's fast. He's not that strong. And his block, he really ain't getting off the block too well.
I mean, his 87 acceleration, 84 speed is probably he won a speed rusher. Maybe he move him to outside linebacker.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't give chicken out, so I don't give chicken out. So hopefully,
I mean, this guy tight work. This ain't his first rodeo, man. The guy got 2 banners, man.
He got 2 banners. Yeah.
But at 84 speed, 87 acceleration, I mean, that may be where he's going to go with it. And he's 21, so he got time to get in that strap.
Yeah.
And
I'm using this guy all day.
So Tone Dog, I'm gonna bring everybody in. Tone, is this the first reach?
I would yes, but no, but yes. Go ahead. Yeah.
Now I know we don't want to give a reach because it's a Super Bowl 2-time Super Bowl champ, but underrated. Is this the first reach of the draft?
Yeah, it looks a little suspect. I mean,
Stretch J definitely got a reach, but this was close. It depends on what.
Reach is different than stretch.
Yeah.
Reach is could have got the guy in the 2nd round. SJ could have got that guy in the 6th round. That guy had no business even. Listen, when SJ had his player's name called at the podium, he wasn't even at the house watching the draft. He was out playing golf somewhere. He didn't think he was getting drafted in the first day. He had no business. He didn't even know. Someone had to call him on the phone and tell him he got drafted. So that's a stretch. This is different. This is a reach. All right, guys, let's move on to the last pick of the draft. And it's King Flair. Now, H-Speed, how does Maven Humber fall all the way to 32 at cornerback for King Flair?
I have no idea, but Flair, man, hey, we criticize Flair a lot for trading his picks, man, but he comes up and get a 1st round pick every year, man. Every year he's had a 1st round pick because he trades the next year's pick because most people are going to jump on it, but he got some solid players, man. This dude, Maven Humber, he's a beast. I mean, he possibly the best cornerback in this draft. You know what I'm saying? And he got the guy Floyd a couple years ago and pick 32, and he's working out for him. He got Greasy at number 12 last year, so he's getting picks. He's making moves. He just got to put it together on the sticks, man. But Maven is a beast from Ohio State.
Great pick by King Flair. Was excited to see this pick because I know the homie Flair deserves it. Can't wait to see what he can do with it, but he's in a tough division. Always difficult. Got 6 tough games versus those guys he's playing against. But we'll see what King Flair does. Keeps getting better and better. But those are the 32 picks. I want to go around the room, give everybody a chance. Talk a little bit maybe about your draft. You got some words for your season coming up. So we can get out of here. Got a couple more things we got to do on the franchise. But let's start with underrated. How'd you think your draft went? Expectations for the year coming up?
I think my draft went good. I put some pieces in places that I needed them. I think the offensive line is going to be a whole lot better, and we have to contend with Taz with his defensive line and his putting it on aggressive and stuff like that. So we'll try not to give up those sacks and stuff like that. But I think we'll have a good season. I'm looking to pretty much have a whole different season than last year. Yeah, I think I'll be all right.
No doubt. Expect underrated to be up there when it's all said and done. All right, Tone Dog, Denver Broncos, what we going to see?
Well, let's see. At least starting off with the draft, I think the draft went great. I feel the need at every position. I think I now have seen enough football for Madden 18 to finally come up with my own blueprint and apply that to the scheme that I'm using. So I think we'll be fine in our division. You know, we got KC Moby, we got Darkness, and BBNG. So I think we can kind of pull together. And the games have been closer with the Chargers. You know what I mean? So we play each other a lot. So I think we're both starting to kind of feel around to what each other likes to do. So I think I'm looking forward to kind of getting him on the season early. I think I play him like week 4, and then after the bye week 7 or something like that. We've already looked at the schedule. But, good things to come in Denver, Colorado, and let's get it.
No doubt. All right, H-Speed, tell us about those Redskins.
Hey man, this was. Let me just speak on this draft. It was a pretty good draft in the first round. Man, there's a lot of talent that we had.
Definitely.
Definitely a lot of linemen, offensive linemen, and definitely a lot of safeties. But coming to the season, we traded our pick. So we'll be a factor in next year's draft with a couple first round picks and make some moves. Year 2 in the development of Kevin Turnbull. I know people want to call him turnover, but it's all good. With those turnovers, he also led the league in touchdown passes with Jameis Winston. So 41 as a rookie, that's pretty good. Peyton did it too. So we just got to get over the hump, man. We got a super team we got to contend with, and we got a game plan, and we're going to execute it. We look forward to being in the Super Bowl this year.
All right. One guy that's going to try and stop that Super Bowl run is none other than Matty Ice. What about them Saints?
Man, we are just trying to stay healthy, and we are trying to make the playoffs. We got a tough conference, a tough division. We're trying to stay humble, and we are also trying to get over that hump. And the Cowboys, we gotta take them out.
No doubt. All right, guys. One more piece of business we got on the franchise, and it's just some breaking news. Everybody listening to this, everybody that tunes into the DML network, everyone in the Dynasty, I need you guys to be on the lookout here in a couple weeks. We're going to have the hype video for our high stakes season coming out. And if you know about the Dynasty, the high stakes is what it's all about. This is where you play for what team you have in Madden 19. Be on the lookout. The commish is in the lab working, putting our hype video together. You know it's going to get 32 users pumped up in the Dynasty. We hope you like it. But be on the lookout for that because it's coming soon to the DML network. Guys, it's the franchise. I can't thank you four guys enough for jumping on the show, taking time out of your day to come on here, talk about these first round picks. Always a pleasure when we get to do the franchise. But on behalf of the DML network and the Dynasty, it's your boy Expert, and we out.
Thank you for tuning into the DML network. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button below.